everybody. It is Liz with Liz Art Finds. Today we are here with haul number 62. I'm going to share some exciting updates. I'm going to show you some cool finds from this week. We'll go over some solds, etc., etc. Before I get started, please please subscribe if you haven't already. If you're here and you've been here for a while, thank you so much. My goal is to grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Do you think we can do it? I don't know. We're going to try some different things throughout the year, but I've got 239, 240 subscribers, and we've been kind of doing this for a while. It would be so amazing if y'all could just hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and let's get going. So number one, first thing, polishing glass. You've seen this before, but look at what's different. Look at it's so clear. I was able to get it polished. I'm so excited. So I found, after talking with somebody online, this GP Pro glass polish compound. It's the 2.3 micron. I got a polishing cloth, and you only need a little bit, and you just kind of work it and magic happens. So I've been trying it on, I have this piece that has a big scratch down the side, and it's slowly but surely, very slowly, going away. So I read somewhere that to get a scratch out like that you can feel with your thumbnail, it could take up to 90 days. So I've just been sitting here like while I'm watching videos and stuff, and I've just been like, just working it. And it's definitely better. It's definitely better. Like some of the smaller marks are already gone. The scratches are not as deep. I've probably worked on it for 3 or 4 days so far. So if I'm aiming for 90 days, I got a ways to go on that one, but I'm really excited that I've found a new tool for my toolbox that can help save some of these pieces that, that I was afraid I wouldn't be able to sell. So I'm excited about that. Next exciting thing, I did talk with Kim Folio. We haven't done our recording yet, but she has been under the weather, as has her whole family. So we've kind of punted it until she's feeling better, but we are still going to record. I've also done some outreach to some other people, and we'll see how that all goes. I will keep doing that and hopefully get some more people to learn from. So, okay, let's just go here. So solds. This past week, I had a few solds. I didn't do a live show. I had over on eBay, I'm missing a piece of paper. Over on eBay, I had 2 solds. You remember I sold these sheet liners in December. I have so many of these. I have 25 sets of 3, so I had like 75 of them. I sold 3 of them in December. I sold another 3, but this time I got the shipping right. So I paid 72 cents for that set of 3, and they sold for $4.52. I don't know if that's my net. That might be my net. I'm not 100% sure. I've got $4.52 written here, so I think that's my net profit actually. So they sold for 6 something. Okay, then my wedding appareia. I got this, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. I got this as a wedding gift in 1994. Is that right? That might be right. 1992. It was a long time ago. I am no longer married, but it was a long, long time ago. And this has been with me ever since 1992. So I sold it. So I didn't pay anything because it was a wedding gift. I sold it for $75. So after all the fees and everything, my profit on this was $60.19. And that's basically just straight profit. Okay, over on knickknacks, I had 2 sales this week. I sold my Italian cat. I had a lot into him because I bought him from another online seller. So with the shipping that I paid, he cost me $2, or she cost me $2.55. I sold it for $42, and after all the fees and whatnot, my profit was $13.70 on that, which is great considering I paid, I had paid quite a bit for him. This cute little Czech Bohemian painted vase. It was actually a beautiful piece. I had found that for $7.99. I sold it for $15. We had a little bit of a shipping overage because I put it in a bigger box than I had originally thought I would. So my actual profit was only $3.23 on that guy. The other piece I sold was this Blanco vase. Now this is not mine. Mine had much lighter leaves. I had taken the listing down. I can't find my pictures, so I found another listing online that was really similar to the one I sold, but my leaves were not that dark green. They were a very light green. So this Blanco crackle vase, I paid $8.85 at auction. I sold to a private buyer who is a Blanco collector and a friend of mine for $30. So my profit on this one is around $21.15. Actually, it's exactly that. Because she's paying shipping too. So yes, $21.15 profit on that. So that was my solds for the week. And I went out a bit this week. I think there's one more update as well. I wanted to share with you the prunts situation. So I mentioned last week that these are called prunts, and I said that I didn't look them up. So I decided I'd better look them up. So a prunt, this is your vocabulary word for the week. A prunt is a small piece of glass that is fused to another piece of glass, usually for decoration. They can also be used to provide a firm grip when a glass object doesn't have a handle. So, and then under explanation, it says prunts are small blobs of molten glass that are pressed into a glass surface and fused to it. They can be shaped or pressed into different designs. For example, a raspberry prunt is a flat circular prunt that is designed to look like a raspberry. So that is why these guys are called raspberry prunts. So now we know. And I should have done that before last week, but it was one thing I forgot to do. So, all right, so this week. So remember last week I said I was going to split my Sunday from last week, what I found, into a couple of different videos. So this is the rest of what I found then, and then some things that I found on the 16th. So I'm going to start with, I went up to Maryland, and this was actually the Unique, which is owned by the same company as Savers. And this one has a couple of spots I need to buff out, but this is a gorgeous, hopefully you can see this, Lily of the Valley vase. So it's etched. It's got the little bubble in the bottom. I thought it was Krasno because of that little bubble, but apparently this is a company in Norway. And I found one online that's this exact piece and it had a sticker on it. So the company was called, I will find it, Kalmar Crystal or Kalmar Designs from Norway. And this is an older piece, so that's pretty exciting. I paid $3.19 for this. And the solds are in the 18 to 29 range. The most recent sold was from 2023, and that was $29.99. This is on WorthPoint that I looked. It looks like if you go back to 2013, they were selling for $18, but the price on these has consistently gone up, and the latest was $29.99. So that's it's exciting. It's a nice piece. So I was very happy to find that. It's a beautiful piece of glass. I found, hang on here, the Mexican glass. I found 2 of these. Now, I like picking up some of the Mexican glass when I find it, if it's at a good price. The confetti glass, with these different colors and whatnot. Now, this is blue. It's on a kind of a turquoisey blue, and then the colors that it picked up, like when they're rolling it to pick up the extra glass, were the dark blue, the cobalt, and the white. So I've got a pair of these. All right, so I got 2 of these. Basically margarita glasses made in Mexico. I paid a total of $3.19 for the pair. Okay, and these sell anywhere from 9 to 15 each, so 18 to 29-ish for a pair of those. So that was a really good buy. They seem to sell through pretty well. At least I've done really well with all my confetti glasses from Mexico so far. So that's exciting. I think my favorite piece from that particular place is this beautiful hand-painted pottery bowl. Now, I thought this may have been somewhere overseas, but it's not. So the artist, and it's kind of hard to tell from that, but the artist is LaSalle, Lesal, Pottery, and she was based in California. And her name was Lisa Lindberg, and then she got married, so her married name is Lisa Lindberg Van Noordwijk. And she did this beautiful stuff, and she's retired now. So her pieces were sold starting in 1987. And she wrote on her LinkedIn profile that she was a vendor for Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, Geary's, Beverly Hills, and over 45 different retailers, which is really cool. And then she was doing one-of-a-kind wedding gifts and plates for retirement, wedding, college, university, et cetera, et cetera. So they were, I'm trying to find out where she was specifically. It just says near the coast, near the Pacific Ocean in Southern California. Fashioned from the highest quality of white or terracotta earthenware, each exquisite hand-painted item is either hand-cast or thrown on a potter's wheel. This is a thrown piece. I'm just going to see. Every piece is signed with the LaSalle name. All motifs and themes are from Lisa's life experiences, yada yada. Other designs show influence of her years studying in France and Italy, painting in Provence. Oh, how cool is that? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All LaSalle ceramics are food safe, can be used in the microwave, recommended to be hand washed. So she put a note on her Facebook page that says, "Dear LaSalle collectors, Happy New Year." Now this is actually from 2021. "I'm getting messages for LaSalle orders. I officially retired in 2019. There are many LaSalle pieces on eBay to buy from present to years back. I'm grateful to have been in business for 31 years. So her name is Lisa, Lisa, and Lindberg Van Noordwijk, and this is her work. So I was excited to figure that out, and I don't have a good picture of her. She does have a profile picture up on LinkedIn if you wanted to look her up. And maybe I can get her to come talk with us. We'll see. I will reach out and see what we can do. But love, 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 love her work. So that was a fun little find. Now I paid, how much did I pay for that? I paid only $1.60, if you can believe that. So, and there's no issues with it, no chips, no cracks, no nothings. So, yeah, 28 to 45 on the solds. And I think a lot of that depends on the size. So some of the bigger pieces are in the 45 range. Some of the smaller pieces are probably right around 28 to 32. So exciting find. And then I found this fused glass flag dish, not signed. And this is an interesting one because it is definitely done with the enamel powders. It's not signed, so it's not Seidenstricker as far as I can tell. Definitely not Peggy Carr. And it doesn't seem to be folio art glass because it just doesn't look like anything on their website. And their designs, they don't seem to retire them. I could be wrong. I'll have to ask him when we talk. But they've had designs up there that have been in production for many, many, many years. And this is not one of them. They have other flag and patriotic things, but not this. So I have no idea who made it. So that's probably going to affect the value a little bit. I mean, I will go over this with a fine-tooth comb loop and try to see if I can find a signature somewhere, but I don't think it's signed. So I paid $3.99 for it, which was probably a little steep. This is probably 8 to 12, probably closer to 8, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's, now that I'm paying attention to it, I'm noticing a lot of like dark colors in there that looks like it wasn't intentional. I mean, perhaps it was intentional, but I don't know. So anyway, don't have a lot to say on that because I really just don't know who made it yet. And then the other piece I found, you guys are going to laugh, this is not vintage. I found a Slytherin goblet. The condition is excellent. And I picked it up because I did a Google Lens search, and the first one that I found was selling for $45. So I'm like, okay. So I paid $3.99 for it. The solds that I found were 15, 25, and 45. Seem to be selling through pretty quickly. It looks like there's two different designs of this. This is not the highest selling one, but because there's another design that has a, like where the stem is kind of like a snake tail design, and those are selling up as high as 65. But other than that, it's very similar to this. This one is in the 25 45 range. So yeah, I picked it up because why not, right? So we'll see if we can get that listed and get that sold. Next place I went was another Unique on the way home from Maryland. I stopped in at Falls Church. Had a little bit of a mishap there in that they had these, well, this was not a mishap. I picked up these two glasses. They say authentic, 100% recycled. It says authentic glass, 100% recycled. Okay, these are made in Spain. The company is called Vidrios San Miguel. They started in 1985. They have 25,000 different shapes and colors that they make, all with recycled glass. They do vases, they do drinkware, they do pretty much anything and everything. You cannot see their stuff because they are they sell to the trade. So they sell to people that sell the glass. So everything is password protected. But this stamp of authentic glass, this is one of their lines, the authentic line. And they're basically two pieces from that. And it talks about on their site how they do all kinds of different production types, that they do blown and they do molded, and they do lists all kinds of different things. On these, you can see the mold seam. So you can see there's a line here and there's a line here. So this was made in a mold, and right, the glass, that stamp is part of the mold. I'm not sure specifically exactly how it's done. It might say something on the bottom, I'm not sure. So anyway, these are definitely made in Spain by Vidrios San Miguel. I paid $3.49 for the pair, and they would sell for $4 to $12 each. So I mean, at a minimum, I'm going to double my money on these. The issue was when I rang them up, I hit it twice, or the machine did, or something. So I had two $3.49 charges. I asked the lady about it because I didn't notice it till after I paid. They couldn't do anything about it, except I could go pick up something else for $3.49. So I picked up this vase, which I had been looking at and had decided to just leave behind because it was $3.49. I think I would have picked it up at $1.99, but $3.49 was more than I wanted to pay for this. But since I basically had to spend $3.49 exactly, I went and I picked it up. So that was the story that I alluded to earlier. I think he's probably worth 8 to 12, maybe more. He would be a good one to be in one of the auctions where I can show this in person and just show, how beautiful the glass is. The optics on this are really nice. So we'll see on that. I think 8 to 12, it may go higher. I'm not 100% sure. And then the last piece I picked up there was Dean Krauser. I don't know if you guys remember back last year, I sold some tiles that had different designs by Dean Krauser. I think I had a bear, hummingbirds, some sort of bird. I don't remember. I just remember that I sold all the Dean Krauser that I had. I recognized this design immediately as one of his styles. And of course, it says it right at the bottom. So I picked this up. I mean, I'm not going to make a fortune on this. I just like the design a lot. I paid $6.49, so I paid up. The solds on this are 15 to 28 for the different designs, but the Dean Krauser pre-owned vases with different designs, this shape, they sold anywhere between 15 and 28. So kind of like that. Yeah, I like the stuff. It's colorful, it's pretty. And we talked about Dean Krauser a couple different times, so I didn't pull up information on him today. All right, so then on the 16th, I went out to Savers. Give me a second. I'm going to just grab some water. Okay, and I picked up 2 things at Savers and a whole bunch of baggies. We're going to talk about 3 of the baggies today, and I'm going to punt the rest of them because I did pick up like 6 different baggies. I'm going to punt the rest of them to next week. But a couple things I want to talk about. So the first thing I picked up was this. Now it had very melted wax at the bottom, which I've cleaned out. So it is definitely a candle votive holder lantern thing. The problem, even though this is finished on the top and whatnot, when I found the artist, so it's signed here. All right, that actually says Olson. Let's see, this way. This actually says Olson. And the artist is Greg Olson, Olson, based in California. Let's see, did I write? I have it somewhere, but anyway, based in, what's that, Wilsonville? Did I write it here? Yeah, Weaverville. There you go. Greg Olson, Weaverville, California. The problem, when I looked it up online, they have a very wonderful Facebook page. But these are the images I found. So this is the bottom. This is what it's supposed to look like. So it is missing that top piece. So interestingly, all of the solds online look like this. I haven't seen one yet with that top piece on it, but the artist intended it to be like this. Okay, so this is really only half of a piece. It is still a candle votive thing, but it's not as originally intended. So the solds are for this, okay? And if you look it up, Greg Olson, votive ceramics, something like that, you'll find a bunch of these on WorthPoint. I paid $4.49 for this piece. The solds for this part are around $18. So it's a pretty ceramic piece. And if you didn't know any better, you would think this was intact, as I did. But the research shows that this was the artist's intention for the piece. Okay, so good to know. If you see these out there and there's something that looks like that nearby, it goes with it. So anyway, there's that little note. Then I found my another favorite piece of the week. It's amazing. Okay, hold on. It's amazing. So this is similar to a gourd piece that I have by a different artist, but this is ceramic. Okay, it's signed DF. It's got the pine needles, but I mean, look at that work, just how they're attached. And then these clay, like grapes that are woven in here. I mean, this is like a museum quality piece. And the fact that it was in such amazing condition is mind-blowing. And then the butterflies not chipped or cracked anywhere. So perfect condition, absolutely beautiful piece. And of course I paid up for it because it's amazing. So I paid $11.24 for it. I actually think this is worth $65 and up. I wrote down $65 to $80. So I want to talk about the artist a little bit. I don't have a picture. She's still alive. Her name is let me see if I have it written down. Frasher, Frasher. And thankfully that's not a very common name. So I was able to figure out who she was and where she is. She lives in, I didn't write it down. It's definitely California. It's a small little town that is north of Santa Barbara and inland a little bit. It starts with a T. I cannot think of it right now, but she is active in the museum, in their museum there. They have an art museum, and she helps curate some of the exhibits there now. She is 92 years old. Her husband is still alive. He is 93 years old. Mind-boggling. And she still comes in, she's a docent, and she still comes in to the museum to help out with stuff and help curate exhibits, etc., etc. I would love to talk to her, so I'm going to call the museum this week if I get around to it and see if they think she might be willing to get on Zoom and have a little chat, because this piece, it's stunning. Like, she's clearly incredibly talented. And I saw another piece of her work that recently sold on eBay, and the person had marked it as museum quality art. And it truly is. It's just like, it's just beautiful. And I want to make sure that she gets the recognition that she deserves, because I mean, I'm sure she does have it in her local community. She's a very big fish down there. Everybody knows who she is. But I'm not sure outside of that people are aware of her and her work. And it's worth being aware of. Like, it's amazing. So anyway, there's this. So I think I told you I would value it 65 to 80. It might be more. I wrote 80 plus. I mean, if I were buying it, I'd probably pay $125 for it. Like, I think it's worth that, but I don't know if another buyer would pay that. So anyway, that's just my absolute favorite. And then they didn't have a lot else on the shelves. They had stuff on the shelves, but they seem to have a new pricer there, and their prices are insane. Some of the things they have listed for double retail. They had a beautiful Murano piece that, well, actually 3, but they had one that was listed at $199. When I looked it up on eBay, the listeds were $99 and the solds were like $79. So nobody's going to pay $199 for it. So I just decided to go over to the baggies. Thankfully, they had put a lot of things in baggies, okay? So I'm going to just show you 3 of the baggies I picked up really quickly. I paid for this first one $3.74, okay, because I had a discount. So there were 3 things in there, 2 of which are saleable, and the first one is the reason I picked the baggie up, because I was so excited. Do you know what this is? Of course you do. It's a Bluebird of Happiness, but it's also a Leo Ward signed. I don't know if you can see it, but it's signed Leo Ward, and it's signed 1996. Okay. Leo Ward created the Bluebird of Happiness. He was from Arkansas, and the place he worked, or his company, was Terra Studios. He introduced these in 1982. And since their introduction in 1982, over 9 million bluebirds have been sold. Each bird is individually crafted from molten glass. It's signed and dated. Leo Ward, the Bluebird man, passed on in 2017, just weeks shy of his 90th birthday. So I'm just going to show you. I did find a picture of Leo Ward. It was undated. So this was Leo Ward. I just hold it up for a couple minutes longer. He was an orphan. He grew up poor, kind of shuttled from relative to relative, and went into the service, and came out, and he had found Buddhism. He found his wife in the service, and started doing glass stuff, taught classes, all the things. And apparently he had a really big heart, a really, really sweet man. And so this is one of his Bluebirds of Happiness. So I was very excited to find that. So I paid $1.87. Well, I paid $3.74 for the baggie. I attributed half of it to this guy, so $1.87 to this. And the solds on these guys are 18 to 24-ish on him. And then the other piece that was in here was a trinket box, intact, and it's got a sticker on it. It says 24% lead crystal, made in Yugoslavia by Crystal Glass Industries. Okay, so there's no issues with this. It's just a sweet little trinket box, 8 to 12 on this. Actually, no, I wrote 5 to 8 on this. So it's you know, I put $1.87 attributed to it. It'll probably sell 6 to 8 is probably what I would assume, maybe a little more. And then the third piece that was in the bag is going to be trash. So I attributed 0 to that, which is why I attributed the $1.87 to the others. And he's broken. I mean, he's a cute little glass bird, but you can see here, there's 2 pieces broken off there. And then the base, he was sitting on something that is also broken. So he's adorable, broken, and likely going to end up in the trash. He's certainly not saleable. So unless I do like an imperfect sale and just sell some things that are broken and start them at $1, we'll think about that. All right, really quick, 2 more bags. So this baggie I got for $4.49. It was basically this baggie. So it says $5.99, but I got a discount. So I think I had 25% discount. So it was $4.49 on this. The most exciting thing in here, be careful with these guys. These are Pablo Zabal, the little doves. And these are amazing. Pablo Zabal was in Madrid, Spain, but the style of ceramic is Chilean. It's traditional Chilean ceramics. These are actually signed Pablo Zabal, or P. Zabal, or it's kind of hard to read what it says, but these are definitely Pablo Zabal, the small doves. Okay, they come in much bigger sizes. Obviously, the bigger ones are worth more. But I attributed $1.50 to these guys. And I would say they 12 to 18 for the pair. Okay. Some of them, you know, some of the listings just have the single one that sells for 18. The listings are kind of all over the place, but they do well. And it is a very well-known designer. And I actually picked up a photo. I printed a photo from, I think, his son's website, where they're doing these cultural, this is Pablo Zabal here. It's kind of his street, or where the shop is, they're kind of doing this cultural credit. Like they're just letting people know that it exists. And I think they closed the shop in 2020, and they were talking about opening it for classes in 2024 or 2025. I haven't seen anything to say that it's open at this point in time, but still interesting stuff. All right, the next piece that was in the bag is this Delft Holland hugging couple, and it says hand painted Delft blue. Okay, there are many of these online, some of them a lot more colorful, some of them just the blue and the white. And prices, as always, are all over the place. I attributed $1.50 to this, and sold are probably 8 to 12 for this guy. And then the other piece in the bag was this resin bear with another bear and a puppy. There is one sold on that, and that sold was like, actually it was like $8.99. So I attributed $1.49 to that, and probably, yeah, I would almost say 6 to 8 on that. But overall, the whole bag was $4.49, and just the doves themselves will probably sell for 18 for the pair, and then another 16 to 20 for the other 2 together. So I think that was a good little baggie. And then the last baggie I picked up, I still need to learn more about. It was this clear one. I picked it up because of the mouse. I have that one Marcolin mouse with looking up. This one is a different mouse, also not signed. I don't know who it's by. It's a beautiful clear crystal. Very similar to the Marcolin one, but different. So I don't know yet who made it or even where. I paid, again, $4.49 for this bag as well. I attributed $1.50 to this. This is probably a 12 to 18 piece. maybe will hold for the paperweight sale. I'm not sure yet where this is going to go, but I liked it. The other piece in here I'm holding on to for a little bit. It is a stopper. I have no idea what it goes to. I tried it on some of my stopperless decanters and it does not fit any of them well. But it is a really well made, like it's very clear. It's interesting that this isn't ground though, so I really am a little bit at a loss to what this might have gone to. But it's really pretty, and you know, for the price of $1.50, I'm gonna hold on to that. Never know when I'll need it. And then the last piece is really pretty. It's one of those etched glass, let's see, probably see it if it's up against my clothing. It's a dove holding an olive branch, and it says shalom and peace. Shalom is peace in Hebrew, and then the signature of the company, it says CJ Art Israel. Right at the bottom here, it's engraved. A lot of the CJ Art pieces do really well. I haven't seen one that exact shape, so I don't have an exact value. Back to the stopper, I would value that 8 to 12. The Shalom piece, also 8 to 12. The bigger ones sell 24 to 48. But that was that. So that is basically, I think I went over everything that I picked up this past week. Thanks for sticking with me. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week. I actually have some things already for next week that are really, really exciting. I can't wait to share. Hope to see you then. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Take care. Bye.